Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Guess who's back again. What's up, Tay?
My boy, what is going on, my friend?
Doing good. Doing good.
Hey, ready for it?
On DeMarco.
Let's go, my friend.
Yeah, let's go. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. Just tired, I was working in the heat all day today, but I mean, it's the same thing I say every fucking day. So, but
you and me both, man. You and me both. Well, I'm back at least for one day, and welcome to Sunset Rants. Where we go over the news, rants, and deep dives, get you caught up at sunset. I'm AK, your favorite guy, here with Tay Dizzle, and tonight we kick off with a multi-front geopolitical tension in Russia and North Korea. We've got U.S. districting policies. Those are underway. And even some weird Martian finds.
It should be interesting, man. This is we got some pretty interesting stuff going on for today.
Absolutely. Before we get started, go ahead and head to riseofmiddleamerica.com. Check out our lineup of podcasts from history to news, pop culture to true crime. Now we've got sports. What else we got going on? We've got a wrestling podcast coming up soon, too. So that's going to be interesting. Yep. And then our conspiracy show, we tried to get it started this week. We're probably going to get it started next week. But either way, this thing is about to explode. If it hasn't already.
Those are the best. Like, I'll just leave them on for hours. Like, whether when I'm driving or if I'm just like doing homework, I just let them just run.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So go to riseofmiddleamerica.com. You can join the Roman Nation Discord. That's your gateway into the fastest growing podcast community on Rumble. Links and socials at the upper right-hand corner. Down at the bottom is our Roma Fashion. We got some new stuff there as well. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification button so you don't miss a moment of the action. Tay, take us into our first story of the night.
All righty. Yeah. So what we got going on for today, this one's going to be coming, I believe, from, we got Fox News. Should be the first one coming up. So it's Putin praises Trump's sincere peace efforts, signals possible U.S.-Russia nuclear deal.
Collusion. That's it. Collusion. It's over. It's all collusion. Show's over. Everybody, good night.
They're going to have a field. I'm glad that they do this now. I know we're about to read into it. But I'm glad that this has come out now after the fact of, all of this indictment going on with the Obamas and the Clintons. Mm-hmm. Was it Comey or Schiff? I forget who on this one.
James Comey and a couple other guys. We had a whole episode of that of Roman Nation last year, but continue.
Yeah. So I think this is perfect timing. So how's this going is ahead of its highly anticipated talks with President Donald Trump in Alaska. Russian President Vladimir Putin has suggested that he could be ready to reach a nuclear deal with the U.S., which is amazing. If so, truly amazing. On Thursday, Putin praised the U.S. for making sincere efforts to end the war between Russia and Ukraine, which has raged for over 3 years now. He said on TV that the U.S. was making, in my opinion, quite energetic and sincere efforts to stop the hostilities, stop the crisis, and reach agreements that are of interest to all parties involved in this conflict. This is coming from Reuters. The Russian leader also reportedly mentioned possible future agreements in the area of control over strategic offensive weapons. I think this is fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to say to that because obviously we've been supplying Ukraine for years now with a bunch of munitions and stuff, and they've been using it against Russia. I mean, you can call it a what type of war is it?
Proxy?
Yeah, you can call it a proxy war, you can call it whatever. But the thing is here is that just the fact that Putin even came to the table, that is, people don't understand how massive that is.
It's a huge deal.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely huge because this war is not going to end well. It's not, and I'm surprised that it hasn't gotten any worse than it is right now. And especially with the involvement of NATO and all the other countries and China backing whatever side, probably playing a middleman there. But no, that we know that's what they're doing.
They're industrial countries. They're going to be doing whatever way they can make some money.
Yeah,
or try to hold some power to do it in the future. No, but this is great, because once what was it? Oh, once there was the power vacuum, that kind of started the Cold War. Right in the late 40s, beginning into the 50s, like right around that. That's when everything started. The Cuban Missile Crisis. So this is perfect because we don't want them going into Poland, because that's right there, right into everything.
And then Texas of Europe.
They're what?
The Texas of Europe.
No, truly. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're the most armed nation in Europe.
Yeah, they are. And I think they're like third or fourth in the world.
Yeah, no, I mean, they have no choice to. They're like, we kind of got fucked before. Let's not do it again.
Pretty much.
But if this is true, I think this will be fantastic. So going into it says Russia and the U.S. hold the world's largest nuclear weapons arsenals and have a treaty limiting the number of weapons they may possess, which is set to expire in February. So that's right down the road. Adding more pressure up on the talks. The new strategic arms reduction treaty covers strategic nuclear weapons and caps the number of deployed warheads at 1,550. So we don't even need that many missiles at this point anymore. And the scary part is you don't need total destruction anymore to wipe out a country. Like, it's so easy now. It's so easy now to wipe out a country just through infrastructure, like the water supply, the food chains, any kind of logistics.
The internet,
literally. It's almost like we developed such a destructive power that now it's just become obsolete. It's still a terrifying thing, all in all. And
we still need to worry about things like drones as well, because like drone warfare can do not a lot more damage, but it's a lot harder to intercept things like that than a nuclear warhead that everybody's going to see where it came from. Right. So that's something that we also have to watch out for here in our country. We kind of had that scare a couple right before the I think, or was it before or after the election in New Jersey, where we had all those drones flying around? Yeah, like searching for stuff.
Like a nuclear. Was it? I don't know. Was it a weapon or was it just like?
It's searching for nuclear radiation.
Yeah, because like apparently it got lost in transit, which how the fuck that happens, I don't know. It's like, what happened?
I mean, so did the documents that ended up at Trump's house, but we won't go that far. But anyways, we won't go that far. Yeah, but to close this off, this is good because like that is such a senseless war. So many people have died for no reason, and quite frankly, Ukraine is out of options at this point.
Yeah, no, they're out of options. They're out of money. Like, we're just, at this point, if they need weapons, we're just going to make money back off of it, But because of this, and because in February this happens, this is where, this is actually going, like, This is like where the fire is about to hit underneath the ass because we want shit to be done. They're just bickering back and forth. Like I don't give up. You don't give up. I want this. I don't want this. But now it's like, hey, this has to happen. And Putin's not a stupid guy by any means.
Even though he is getting up there in age too. So
very cool, but not stupid.
Yeah. So he really wants to leave something for the Russian people to remember, right? And if that's the case, this is probably the first step in the right direction.
No, I agree with you. There's been talk. You're speaking about his age, and there's been talks. Where his health has come into play with he could potentially like have cancer or like some kind of like degrading illness. But once you get up to like a certain age, that stuff's just gonna kind of happen. Not necessarily like you're old, you get cancer, but you get what I'm saying. That's your health. Right. So no, I agree with you on that.
There we go. All right, what else we got on the docket tonight?
So this next one, this one was funny. I was laughing when I was pooping watching this. Made me feel a lot easier. I was like,
"Oh boy, what is it? Is it the video?"
Yeah. Watch it. It's aired everywhere.
Yeah, Brian, you wanna pull up the video real quick? You can just press play. That's all.
Think there's going to be
in the political power plays for control of the U.S. House of Representatives, California Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom today launching his response to what he calls Republican attempts to rig congressional maps in Texas.
I know they say don't mess with Texas. Well, don't mess with the great Golden State.
Newsom announcing a special statewide election November 4th for Californians to vote on new congressional maps.
We can't stand back and watch this democracy disappear district by district all across this country.
It's all in response to Republican efforts in Texas to redraw its state congressional district map and possibly pick up 5 more GOP seats in the U.S. House. States redraw their congressional maps every 10 years after the census to adjust for population changes. But it's happening now in Texas at the request of President Trump.
Are you calling in for a complete redrawing of the congressional map?
No, just a very simple redrawing. We pick up 5 seats.
Texas Democratic lawmakers leaving the state to prevent a vote on the redrawn maps. Republican Governor Greg Abbott threatening them with fines or arrest.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, cut that off before you.
Yeah, so like, hasn't this been going on for 100 years?
Yeah, this isn't anything that's new. Like it is set into this. Like you're able to do it. It's based on the census. Everyone's gotten the call, whether you're home from school, your parents are out, hey, do this, or we've all gotten the things in the mail or that. It's just normal stuff. It's what our country does. But it's not something that's where this hasn't been done before. When there has been certain reasons to do it, both parties have done it. So it's it's the pot calling the kettle black, if you would. So this is just him. Just doing what he does,
grandstanding at the highest level. I mean, he's really trying to fix up his persona from the disasters that he's had over the last couple of years by running that state. And I still don't understand how there are still people that support him. I really don't. I mean, Democrat, Republican, I don't care. Like he not only run your state to the ground. I mean, businesses are leaving that state in droves. They're number one, or the number one worst when it comes to business. There.
Yeah, no, he's a terrible guy. Like he's been digging holes and just wiping out everything. So that's why everyone's running away. That's my impression of him when he talks. Like,
yeah, what is it? Hardy Harmonica says, if I bet $5 on Texas, will I even win anything when California loses? It won't even get. Wouldn't it be funny if it doesn't even get that far? If like they go for the vote in November and he loses it, like that's it.
It's still like you said, like a majority of the state is not for him. Like it's only in those like few metropolitans that are just like deep.
Silicon Valley and LA.
Yeah, like LA, San Fran. It's got Silicon. I think there's a few more, like two more that really just make it stick out. It's almost like New York. You know, anywhere in New York for the most part it's pretty red, unless you're like in the center, like in the city. But what was the name of that guy? Larry Nelson.
Larry Nelson
Where he
from
ran a couple was it a year or two ago?
right.
So that I was even surprised that he still stayed when this happened. You know, just kind of tagging back onto what you were saying. Like who votes for?
Yeah, and again, like we're going to find out a lot about California once see what this plan is with immigration and with illegal aliens. How exactly is that going to affect? Because not just in California, but also in New York and Illinois and a lot of these blue districts and states, you know, when this gets cleared out, are we going to see a drop in participation, a massive drop? Because you know exactly how many people you've deported out of certain areas. So if you look at the numbers before and after, which is something that we did during the election. Remember, we had the election night, and we went back and forth
like
from 2020 to 2024 to see where the differences were. Yeah, it was astonishing to say the least.
Well, so yes, so we know how many people who gotten the boot, right? We know that,
right?
But we've never had an actual like factual number on the amount of people who have like there's guesses anywhere like 25 million, 30 million. So I mean, I've seen guesses that could have been like up to like 90, which would still be like an educated guess all on its own because there's nothing hard in paper. But then remember it was a couple of weeks ago they found that huge tunnel underneath the desert. And it was like a military installation, kind of like just how well built it was. So that's just going like was it like 7-8 miles like underneath the border. So that was just a highway.
Oh, that's definitely the cartels there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely built and paid for by the cartels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
so
lady president over in Mexico, whichever way you look at it.
But what I really wonder is that if Newsom actually gets to do this, how exactly is he going to do it? Right? Because you only have so many spots across the state where most of the Democratic strongholds and seats are all concentrated in one area. So how exactly are you going to spread that out? You're going to spread it across the state, 250 miles. Like how is that going to work?
If they split the state up, like North Cali, South Cali, like now there's an extra state just by the division. Is that possible?
I mean, it is. I mean, California would definitely be blue, and North California would be. I mean, it'd be close, but I mean, in that state, what is it? It's only what 60-40. I think, or maybe it's a little bit closer than that from the last election.
I could not answer that one like in good faith to tell you like what it could be, but I don't know. I thought this was going to be like when he said like was it yesterday or the day before when he's like, oh, Trump's going down or he's going to be shitting his pants. That's not what he said, but it's more or less the best of
right. No, and, I don't. I just don't think there's. I don't think he has enough play. I mean, he would have to literally screw over a bunch of districts, screw over a bunch of his own districts in order to pull that off. Because then you'd have to go into wine country and then Central Valley, and there's not a lot of blue out there. There really isn't. So like he could FAFO by accident and lose seats because he made the wrong moves.
He's made nothing but the wrong moves.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying.
Like, I wish there was. I'm sure there has been something that he has done that's been good at some point. but it's nothing that I can name off the top of my head, like at all. Like I'm sure there just can't be that many stupid people. I mean, there could, but like
you'd be surprised.
Yeah, whatever that George Carlin comment was.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because like when you look at like my state of Maryland, right? There's definitely a blue stronghold with the greater DC area and Silver Spring and Rockville and those places, and of course Baltimore.
Mhm.
But like if you go anywhere else, I mean, there are Trump signs, there are vote red. There, I mean, anywhere else in the state, that's what it is. It's just that they're tied between DC and Baltimore, and I mean, and since those two cities have grown out exponentially, it's really hard to it's really hard to try and figure out how they're going to fix those, especially Annapolis. Annapolis in its own right.
Yeah, and I will say I will give it to Governor Newsom. One thing that he's really good at, same thing as what Obama's good at, is he's very charismatic.
Mm-hmm.
He's fantastic at public speaking. I always think he's an idiot, but it's easy at some points to get captivated by him. So with like all the ICE raids going on, and all the riots going on, like he has like, and the people who are blue, they see that he cares, so they're gonna follow him blindly into this. And so for him, was it where gerrymandering is, the word of the week has been going on, like
word of
what
the month.
I've been seeing everywhere for everything. That's it. And so this is him. So track record sucks. It's been trying to be corrected, but I think he's taking advantage of this, like of the raids, to be like, oh fuck this guy, blah blah blah, and try to do whatever he can to put a foot in it while he gets his done.
Right. Understandable. Yeah, we're going to be hearing a lot more about this for the next year going into the midterms. So
I'll say like it's just going to be like a back burner conversation, and then whenever there's like a lull, they're just going to go back onto that. It's just how it goes. But enough about that.
Yes, sir. What do we got here?
Powerful sister. So this is going to be rules. Powerful sister of North Korean leader denies removal of frontline speakers. So Kim Yo Jong reiterated. Is that her name? Okay.
I guess so.
His name? Yeah, I guess.
No, that's definitely her name.
Yeah. The sister, yes, it is. It says at the bottom. Reiterated previous North Korean statements that it has no immediate interest in reviving long-stalled negotiations with Washington and Seoul. Was it woman scorn has no like wrath or soul or whatever? But anyway, so
I mean, if you're coming from that family,
yeah. Yeah. She is.
Yeah.
She's the evil sister from the Fire Nation in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Literally. Seoul, South Korea. The powerful sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on Thursday dismissed South Korean claims that the North is removing some of its loudspeakers along the inter-Korean border, mocking the government in Seoul for clinging to hopes of renewed diplomacy between the war-divided rivals. South Korea's military said over the weekend that it had detected the North removing some of the loudspeakers, days after the South dismantled its own frontline speakers using an anti-North propaganda broadcast. Okay, so that's it. Kim Yo-jong reiterated North Korean statements, no immediate interest in reviving long-stalled negotiations with Washington and Seoul, citing an upcoming joint military exercise between allies as proof of continued hostility toward Pyongyang. Is that how you say it? Pyongyang, right?
Yeah, Pyongyang.
South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff did not disclose where it spotted North Korea moving some of its speakers. North Korean speakers that have been visible from civilian accessible border areas in the south were still seen by AP photo drones after military's announcement. I know exactly what happened to those speakers. They're using them they're taking the metal out of them and they're using it to fix that battleship that rolled over a couple weeks ago.
That's even possible. I mean, yeah, like this is not something I'm familiar on. I mean, I understand like the war and the split, like all this stuff, but like North Korea, look at its budgeting, right? I mean, they're worth what, $59 billion. Guess what city or which town or city in the United States rivals North Korea?
Orlando.
Gary, Indiana.
Holy shit! Yeah, Orlando's trillions of dollars. Gary, Indiana.
I was gonna say, like, Disney and Universal alone, like has its own global GDP.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say. I literally just read today in traffic, like they I think Disney, like the parks bringing about like $2 or $3 trillion just from tourism. Gary, Indiana. I feel like me and 5 people can take over Gary, Indiana.
I don't know. I mean, that area is pretty rough. So
They'll join me. It'll be good.
They'll join you, right?
Yeah. Like, we're sticking to the man.
Yeah. So what exactly do they have to offer? Like, I think this is the Napoleon syndrome, you know, coming out in full force, where they think they have, you know, they're showing all of this might and power, but we all know that they can't even get out of their own way. They can't even get past through China or Japan. Nonetheless, you know.
The thing about it is, like, you know, during like when we were going, like when America was going through like I think it was like 10 years or whatever, like when like we were like imperial capitalists, like during that time, like I guess that industrial renaissance, if you would, you know, whether it be through like social, how do I say this properly? But they never went through this. Like they learned their own specific way of, we want to keep things old school. We don't want to do this. We want to keep, you know, the communism, but they never let the people evolve into anything. And they just restricted the people so much that they're just basically, you know, if you tell a lie enough times, you know, like the family stuff, you know, or like traditional values and stuff, but they haven't had the opportunity to actually evolve as a culture, like as a true culture into it. And that's, so these speakers, that's what they're doing. They're like, no, it's great here. But then you go over there, like everyone's malnourished. They're genetically altered. Like, I think the average height is what, like 5'1" or something, because they're so malnourished. Spring, as they call it, the season of death, because, you know, they ran out of food over the winter break and nothing's growing yet. You know?
Yeah.
So they've just been shooting themselves on their foot, and they're just trained. They don't know better. You know, if you ask like a blind guy, hey, would you want to see, or would you want this? He's like, oh, I'm good. I don't care. You know? I'm sure
we'll ask the soldier that ran from South Korea to North Korea and ask him what the difference was. Yeah, remember that?
But once you know. Yeah, once you know, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. And speaking of that, you were mentioning something about like how they're spitting out this propaganda, but yet and they don't have any type of culture. But South Korea, I mean, they went like light years ahead.
Yeah.
When it comes to culture, you know, they got away from that as fast as possible, and now they're one of the more liberating countries in the world. You know, just from that escape. You know, because they knew they didn't want to go back to it.
Yeah, no, they took a lot of stuff, you know, as far as like how us as a country, like, you know, the states, how we developed and how we started running our governments, and like, you know, the power to the people, and like just how important it is to have, like, you know, your rights.
Hi, Mom. I see you in the chat.
Hey, Mama Dukes.
Oh, we got Funkmaster General with a $20 super chat. What's going on, my buddy?
I currently have nothing witty or interesting to write here at.
Me neither, dude. That's why we're filibustering. But
that reminds me of my quote on the page. Like, under my name is like, hold on, I'll think of something.
I'll think of something, right? That's great. Yeah, I mean, I really don't have much to say. We just know that North Korea really doesn't have a lot of pull. I mean, yeah, they might have missiles, but to what end? Like, who are you going to use them against?
There's not much. I mean, as famous as the country is in the world, there's really nothing to report on, because there's nothing that comes out, literally.
Right.
Like, it's a blacked out country. Like
Right.
that's nothing goes in, nothing comes out. But like, a few things. Like I made some witty jokes about like the battleship or like some escapees, but other than that, there's nothing. Like we know that this woman exists. Apparently she's like air in line, after this man passes away. But yeah, there's really nothing. So if something's happening with this, it's like, oh, are they taking down the speakers? It's like, ooh, it's like it's so little, it's a big deal.
Right. I wonder like how much that talk that he had the first time that Trump was in office when he went over there with no military detail, which was absolutely insane. The fact that he walked, I mean, obviously there were definitely pews pointed in their direction if anything happened, but no, he had no military detail, just his regular Secret Service, and just walked in there.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I'm just wondering, how what if and when this woman does, end up running the country, if she does, is she gonna fall in line into like, quote unquote good standing, with the US states, or as far as like, diplomacy that Trump was able to instill between the two countries? Or is she just gonna go like just like shoot machine guns in the air?
We need to get an insider in there, kind of like some of the Russian spies that come over here.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll stick out like a sore thumb, but
yeah. Who could we send over there?
Yeah, let's play this game because this is such a boring subject. I want to spice it up a little bit. So, who would we send over to North Korea? I got it. Matt Damon. Matt Damon. I'll get a free T-shirt to anybody that knows what movie that came from. First one to put it in the chat.
Isn't it South Park? No.
Close.
Oh, I know what it is.
Oh, no, I want to see if somebody else knows.
I know what it is.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, let's move on. What do we got here? Is this the Communist News Network?
Okay, yeah. Let's see. So this one, I know a lot of people are kind of torn on this one, but I feel like a lot of people kind of had the understanding, like, wait for the full context of the story to come out. Right. So everyone kind of saw this. It kind of was a big thing a couple weeks ago. Prosecutors cleared Florida deputy in arrest of a black man.
I remember this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I already knew this was going to happen. Like, he was going to be cleared out. Because I was like, once you saw the whole video, which came out very, very fast, because, yeah, so I'll just read it for anyone who's not really too caught up with. For you. Yeah, this is in Jacksonville. Duval. Prosecutors will take no further action against the Florida sheriff's deputy in the arrest of a black college student pulled from his car and beaten by officers during a February traffic stop. I wonder if he was a scientist too, or a doctor.
Scientist.
The actions of Officer D. Bowsers of the Jacksonville Sheriff Officer did not constitute a crime, according to an investigative report released by the state attorney's office for the 4th Judicial Circuit of Florida. A video showing the officers punching and dragging William McNeil from his car sparked nationwide outrage. Though Jacksonville Sheriff's T.K. Waters has said there's more to the story than a cell phone video that went viral online, and that McNeil was repeatedly asked to exit the vehicle. An investigative memo released Wednesday, prosecutors called the cell phone footage incomplete in scope. So everyone's seen this video. He's just like, okay, just here, looking forward, windows break, gets punched, gets dragged out. The whole premise was he opened the door because his window didn't go down. And then the cop walked up to him, and then he closed the door, locked it, and was just saying, fuck you, I'm not getting out. I'm not giving you anything. And so the acknowledgement back and forth. And so, yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, it says here, according to the report, Bauer stopped McNeil for failing to turn on his headlights and buckle his seatbelt after seeing his SUV parked outside a house the officer was surveilling for drug activity. So actually, he's not a scientist; he's a chemistry major.
Oh, wow. Wait, it was weed. No, he's a herbologist.
Herbologist.
Yeah, he's a herbologist.
Professor of the herbs.
Yeah. But it just shows you, like, there's always, stories like this. And when I've, we've been doing this long enough. I've been doing this long enough. I'm on the internet more than enough. And other people too. This is, I was just in jury duty the other day, and this makes such a, have you ever seen the movie, was it Chuck and Dale versus Evil? The movie?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Okay. So it's basically, the premise is there's a bunch of college kids in this like country town in like Virginia. And then there's these country boys, old like Chuck and Dale or something like that. And the country guys,
undocumented pharmacists.
So they just have different stories, and like you're there watching the entire story. So there's always three sides. It's a hilarious movie. It's like a horror gore comedy. It's on Netflix. I highly implore everyone to watch it. You love gore, you love it, and if you love really funny stuff, you'll love it even more. But it's just there's always more to the story than what you initially will see.
Absolutely, yeah, but again, like you said before, we've all seen this. I mean, especially through Summer of Love and all this other stuff, and how they'll take this little snippet here and then post it out for everybody to see, get the reaction, talk about it, and then try to throw it away as fast as possible, because that eventually, again, you have, what was it? There's three things that you see. It's something, and then the truth.
His side, her side, and the truth.
Yeah, exactly. And as technology becomes more prevalent, if it's not already, I mean, if AI has anything to do with that, a lot of these things are going to start coming out even without the permission of the people that are looking at this footage, because if there's anything that we've learned over the last 10 years is that the media apparatus is not going to give you the full story up front. They're going to give you the story they want you to have, and then until somebody pulls out the actual story, but by then it's too late, because we live in a 30-second society where we grab the information and then just and then we just move on.
Yeah, and I think my problem, and I think everyone else's problem with this too, is because there's always rapid doing it. Like, it's just clickbait at this point. It's like, oh, get outrage, get all the views, let's make some ad revenue. But what it does is that's going to start. It does discredit people who are in true like bad situations. When this stuff does come out, like something like where it's like, this is just fucked. Like, this is like for instance, like with Rodney King, the reason why OJ got off free was because the jury literally said, we wanted to give restitution to like the black men of America for like that beating. So OJ was what they did, you want to
know what's sad is that it wasn't Rodney King that set off the LA riots, though. It wasn't.
I was a young lad.
I was too, but when I did the show on civil rights movement versus Black Lives Matter, which, by the way, Roman Nation, you guys should go check that out.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
What I did was I pinned those two movements against each other, and then I took very similar stories like Emmett Till versus Trayvon Martin, and then I had
which those were terrible stories altogether.
Yeah, all of them.
That's a disgusting story. It's an awful story.
Yeah, exactly. But one of the stories I did was Breonna Taylor versus I think her name was, oh my goodness, I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot for this one if I don't remember her name. But there was a young 16-year-old girl that went into a Korean shop. And I guess she put some orange juice down. This was all caught on camera too. And she put some orange juice down. She went into her purse to pick up some to take out some money, and the owner of the shop, she thought that she was trying to put something in, so she tried to grab her purse, and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" So she grabbed it back and started hitting her, right? And then when she went to turn around and walk away, she took a revolver and shot her in the back of the head twice.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So but that's not what started it. The issue was when they went to court, she was found guilty, but the judge was so sympathetic to her side that her sentencing was 10 years community service and a $500 fine.
And that was where the riot came from.
Yeah, for unaliving a 16-year-old black girl.
Wow. That's disgusting. Like, see, that's
okay. I got to get her name. I'm sorry, I have to do her justice.
No, do it. Yeah, no. While you do that, I'll just kind of talk. But yeah, kind of going back to before we went on a deep dive on
Latasha Harlins is her name. Latasha Harlins. Everybody, look that story up.
But it just discredits things that should be noticed. Things that of stuff. So instead of pulling on which side whoever's on, someone's always going to fall into something like where it's going to be the hot topic.
Thank you, Biddy.
When realistically, it shouldn't be on it compared to something that is. So that's a big thing, going on with all the AI and all the cameras around. I think as time progresses, and which we've seen, just the amount of information that we're able to attain so instant, I think that's going to start changing. The only thing that needs to change is just people who are just overly virtuous without looking into what the whole story is, rather than going off their emotions, rather than basing an informed idea.
Yeah, it's kind of like that kid that went on a show and was pressured about talking about African Americans and how many actually get shot and off during certain times, and he was like, yeah, it was something like 90 million black men succumb to police violence every year, and the guys were like, wait, what? He's like, you understand that would be every single one 3 times over in just 1 year, right? And he didn't know what to do. He was confused. He was like, no, I think this is right. And they're like, no, here's how many African American men live in this country. And it was so bad that he actually ended up having a panic attack and having to go to the hospital.
Holy shit. I've had anxiety attacks, but never into that, but that's rough. Especially because I was Steven Crowder or Charlie Kirk. I remember this. And then the true number, the true unarmed or not the one, I think it was 3 or something. It was something. It wasn't a large number, maybe 7. Still, but it's just the amount, and then the disparaging amount between what he said and the other. You're looking it up right
now. Which one? Sorry, I was texting in the chat. What are you looking for?
Oh no, I thought you were looking up what the actual number was. But it was something insanely low compared to what actually was said.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and this is one of those things that I have to. It's bittersweet for me because I've had these issues. I talked about it during the Timcast event 2 weeks ago.
By the way, I saw you. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't tell me that you were there, doing that. I saw you. I was like, "Woo, let's go!" I saw Taylor Lorenzo on there, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
Yeah, all of us were there. It was a lot of fun. The after parties, everything. Yeah. But I was talking about how between the ages of 17 and 31, I got pulled over 22 times.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. And you're like, sometimes it was me, sometimes it was just, why does it happen?
Yeah, exactly. And the funny part is the ones that were my fault, all except for one, they all just gave me a warning and told me to go off. I told them, they were like, hey, what did you do? I was like, this is what I did. Sorry about that. And they were nice to me. Nice to me. A couple of them had a conversation with me, just shoot the shit or whatnot. But all the other ones, they were so aggressive and in their way of how they approached the situation initially, Because normally it's like, hi, I'm so and so. You know why I pulled you over? But there were a couple of times where like I thought my life was in danger, and I was like, what did I do to deserve this? But when it came to my family, they were like, just do exactly what they tell you to do. Don't try to be, because my family was very like don't get yourself, unalive.
Yeah. And
So
compared to like all this stuff, like what you see is like like what the aggression is like between cops. If they do pull a black one over, like was it DW? Was it what'd you say DWB? Driving while black. Yeah, I think you said it. Someone else said that, but it's like I'm not in your position. Like like if I was, I'm not black, unless I just never.
Well, once I started getting the gray hair, like they kind of backed off a little bit.
They thought you were Asian at first. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, a lot of people think I'm Dominican.
Really?
Yeah. Like I'll pretend to say my limited things in Spanish, and they're like, "Oh, you're Dominican." I'm like, "No, not even close."
Okay,
but
let's see. Hardy says, remember when Kamala Harris said 220 million Americans died from COVID?
Oh my God! Well, I don't know why they let her on stage.
No, she's embarrassment like through and through. No.
What do you say? It's like a DWI and DUI. DDD, that's a bra size.
I know that one. If there's any of the three of those, I know the last one, right?
of any one of those, you definitely know that one. All right, so let's move on to this last story. Let's see. I'll take the reins on this one. So NASA Perseverance rover spies mysterious helmet on Mars. The medieval-looking helmet is the latest addition to Mars' gallery of odd-shaped rocks. NASA's Perseverance rover has stumbled across a curious volcano-shaped rock on the surface of Mars that looks rather like a weathered battle helmet. Ooh. Captured by the rover's Mastcam Z instrument on August 5th, 2025, the rock displays a pointed peak with a pitted nodular texture that invokes the image of armored forts centuries ago. On Earth, similar nodule textures can form through the chemical weathering, mineral precipitation, or even volcanic processes. Perseverance found a similar rock in March of 2025. That's where Marvin the Martian is. I'm telling you, he's alive.
No, he is. I recently saw a photo of him. He was there. It's funny because going down my rabbit hole a couple nights ago. There's this place. Where is it? It's in Canada, and it's like one of the most unhospitable places like on the entire planet. It's right underneath the Arctic or North Pole, whatever you want to say. It's the driest. The whole thing is just like this. It's just as cold. It's just as cold. It's just as dry. It's just as barren. So that NASA has a whole thing up there, and so then people are like, oh, they're using the pictures from Mars in here is like just changing them. It's like, no, some of these pictures are from Mars, but what people are also saying is like if they find like a picture of like a skull, or if they find a picture, I don't want to say this as one, if this is like, NASA posting it, but there's like a lot of photos like you'll see on the internet of, things from planet Earth that are just filtered.
I'm trying to see if I can find some of the pictures of this land. I don't really see. I see a lot of pictures of the tundra up there.
Yeah, I'll have to send it to you. Let me go on Google Earth.
Oh, it's called the Barren Grounds, I think. Here, I'm going to share my screen here. There we go. Oh wait, that's not right. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, so it's land like this. This is sort of like the land that I saw when I went over to Iceland during the summertime.
Yeah.
and it's very barren land with like volcanic rock and stuff everywhere. This type of like weedy grass. I mean, these are. I wonder, is there any other photos
The
here?
photos that I was watching, like you know, it was going from like Google Earth, where like you actually see like the NASA like little bunkers and stuff there. Like it looked like Mars photos.
Oh, absolutely. Yep, there's that photo. See, this is the rapids in the Yukon.
I'm terrified of the Yukon.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the heck this is. Okay, never mind. But anyways, but yeah, I see what they mean though. I mean, but now you see that Elon Musk is trying to get to Mars to test out to see if they can actually build anything there. We don't even know what this rock is going to do. I mean, we've got very limited rock from Mars back here on Earth, if any. You know, so there's only so much that you can do with the limited supply because it's so hard to get.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing that I think this is pretty cool because you will see stuff like this, which are it's very inorganic, like and like composite structure, like how it's built, So it's like, oh, maybe there was an ancient civilization. Is this it?
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, you'll see stuff. I'll follow like on the NASA site and stuff where it looks just like this. But apparently, like the biggest thing is like the terraforming, like being able to establish any form of atmosphere.
Yeah, because they've got what, only 2% of atmosphere that Earth has.
Is it that? Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder because I know that they say that 3 billion years ago, it would Mars was just like Earth, very similar to Earth, but something happened. Maybe a solar flare got out there and just toasted the planet.
Just wiped
who
it off.
knows?
Or it could be something along like the lines of like the solar flare at the same time, like like a polar change.
Oh, geez. Well, they've got water there.
I'm just shooting random ideas.
Who knows? They've got water there on the poles. So if everything else is barren except there, it's nothing but ice and water, then like that means that there had to be some form of livable surface at some point.
Now, I wonder if there's like actual, like all things considered, how they found like underneath the Arctic, like a couple miles down. Like I think I had this on my show a couple of weeks ago. Brian had pulled it up, but they drilled down like way like kilometers down, and they found like living organisms like underground, like miles underneath the ice, and like just underground freshwater lakes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wonder if that would be possible over there. If it is like salt water where the saline and the pressure would keep it from actually freezing.
Right. It's kind of like how people sleep in the tundra. They dig themselves a hole and then like make sure it's nice and round and not too big, so that when they sleep in there, their own body heat creates sort of like this thing where it melts the ice, but it's so cold that it sets itself up. So you kind of create yourself a little cocoon.
It reminds me of this guy YouTube channel. I forgot his name. Fantastic guy. He's like a dorky white guy with glasses. He'll bring out sun. He goes out in like Alaska and stuff. And what we'll do is dig like a little trench in like the dirt and sand, and he'll build a fire on it. And he'll let that fire go into the embers and put dirt on top of the fire, so it keeps it warm. And it'll be like, oh, it's like negative 60 degrees out, and he'll sleep in that little tent there on the dirt, and it keeps him warm. A little different thing. I just thought it was like the camping thing that we were talking about. I thought that was really cool.
Holy, yeah, right. I wouldn't do that. Are you crazy?
Dude, you see me. If it drops below 80 degrees, I'm shivering. Like I'm in hypothermia if it goes underneath 80.
Yep, he's wearing that little puffy jacket.
Yeah, the North Face. But let's go to the fun part.
Let's do it. Caption this, y'all. All right, folks, you know what it is. Let's caption this. We've got an AI generated image that came out of our AI image dump on our Discord. We choose one each day for Sunset Rants, and it's your job in the audience to come up with the best caption for this photo. Ooh, I know some people are going to have a lot of fun with this one.
I got to figure out how I want to word mine.
Yeah, I know. I saw it about 20 minutes ago because I don't like to look at it until like
I never did.
But I know that since I jumped up here and I'm doing the show, I had to see some of it. But let's see. I think I'm here. You know, I think I got one. Hold on, let me see. Let me see here.
Yeah, no, I want to watch that. Look. So while we're talking about, while we're doing this, everyone's coming up with their ideas. Going back to the culture war. What was his name? Mike, the guy who was not angry cop. The other guy who was pretending to be a cop.
Oh, that was Michael Malice.
Malice, yeah. Was that his general like outtake like on his aggressionness, or is that just part of his? Because I was confused by two things.
I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of us were confused about that because I thought he was trolling. I thought he was trolling hard.
Yeah, but then just his sincerity on like certain things, I'm like, are you really just nasty? But you're very, you want to get this through. It's like because they kept saying like, oh, they're still humans,
which they are.
Yeah, it's the human factor, it's the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
If he said that, I think that would have crossed off a little bit better.
Oh man, we got some good ones coming in here. I'm gonna wait about one more minute and let some other ones come in, and then we'll have some fun with this. But yeah, like especially talking about the human condition, and when he was saying that he known some cops that that deal with domestic issues with children and stuff, and when you see that over and over and over again, it completely changes you and makes you think differently of human beings, which is not wrong.
Yeah,
I just think that was a very weird, like coming out of the character that he was trying to portray.
I really thought that what's his face, angry cop, what's his name, I thought he presented himself like fantastic.
No, you did, and so did angry cops. I mean, like even with the question that I had, about what happened with me, and then furthermore, what happens, why if you are not committing a crime, why are they running your license plate? And he was right, because the license plate belongs to the state.
See, what I liked about your question and then his answer and his response to it, because it'd be more or less directed to that, because there is like, there is like a cultural topic, like, about, the cops and this and that, but how you articulate it and how he articulated it, like as just giving everything and just directing it, like what should be, what should not be, what can be, and where's that line. I thought it was like one of the better of the questions that were said, especially like your diction, tonality, as far as like saying the question, because if I was to go out there, I would like stutter like my ass.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of pressure because I mean, when you got Alex Stein breathing up your ass, what's up, Alex?
Yeah, he was everybody loves him, but he's just like, hurry the fuck up.
Yeah. Dude, oh man, you should have saw what he did to the Indian guy this past weekend, but you guys got to watch that episode. All right, so let's go into our caption. Let's see, what do I want to start with here?
Mine's Wally. It's supposed to say Wally.
Gotcha. All right, so let's go with mine first, where it's, my name is Marvin Leonardis, and I'm here to blow up your rover. What else we got here? Hey guys, Carl left the gate open again. Vashnik says, when I yell action, tell the extra to run from the robot. All right, we got our own Biddy. She says, being discovered makes us angry. Very, very angry indeed. Jennifer says, oh, yes. Jennifer says, take me to your leader. And here we go. We got Tay coming up here with when Wallet goes to Mars for the Martian blowbang and forgot they have no mouths. Oh my God. We got the Major in the house. He says that helmet was a sensitive item X42001X. Hardy Harmonica says, pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon? Oh man, Vashnik again. He's with now we know where Trump's sending all the illegals.
It's funny, the X21 OX is an actual like sports hat.
That's funny.
That's
Jennifer says, Wally is here to clean your planet. NASA live stream suddenly lost signal right after this photo. And we've got the Supreme Heckler. Biddy back again with, you're on Mars. Isn't that lovely? And then we've got, I think that's it so far. I had a great-grandfather named Leonidas. Oh, nice. Nice.
That's an epic name.
That is an epic name. He was probably a kick-ass person, too.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard name to, like, be a shitty person with.
Pretty much.
Right. Yeah. Like,
all right, so I think I'm gonna go with. Oh, he said I missed the pick, so really fuckmaster. He said I missed the pick, so I'm just gonna use the phrase "Where the white woman at?"
Dude, I haven't seen that movie when I was a kid. I gotta see it again.
Oh my God. He had an epic beard. That's funny. Oh, Vash again, right at the end. He says, I should have taken a left at Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
All right, let's see.
Got any bear claws? No, we got a bear claws. Got any?
I think I'm going to go with... I mean, they're all so even. I think Hardy Harmonica, hey guys, Carl left the gate open again. Biddy with being discovered makes us angry. Very, very angry indeed. Yeah, I think that's the one I'm going to go with. What do you got?
Whatever you want, man.
Oh, come on. We're not going to make this difficult.
I choose me.
You chose you? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not putting my...
All right. Well, I guess that's what we're going with. So we got Biddy with being discovered makes us angry. Very angry indeed. And then Tay with when Wally goes to Mars for the Martian blowbang and forgot he had no mouths. I'm definitely not putting that on a shirt. All right, so let's get ones in the chat for Biddy, and let's get twos in the chat for Tay. You got 60 seconds. Good luck. Oh, Doug, you did miss everything. Oh man, I don't even think you got a single vote yet.
Well, technically, what I'm just assuming is everyone's like number 2 keys broken. So unanimously, as a
That's what
group
it is.
collective, they press 1 a bunch
That's
of times.
totally what it is.
So 1 + 1 = 2. So just going by like math, which is inarguable, it's an automatic win for me.
We got Funkmaster at 1. Vash got you. He's got a 2. I'm
Yeah.
afraid. He's like a Marvin the Martian quote, but altered. I kind of figured, Biddy. Oh man. All right. Well, looks like Biddy is the winner. Woohoo! We need to have like some
Oh wait, no, I got it. Ready? Hold on.
We need to get that sound in here somehow. So whenever we have a winner, I'm totally down.
Yeah, see if you can put a soundboard on this.
Again, yeah. Oh, yeah. Brian was just talking to us. He's like, "We'll get that when we switch over to OBS here soon." But anyways, that was a lot of fun. I haven't done Sunset Rants in a while.
I know you abandoned me. You left me like a puppy on the side of a highway.
Oh, you. Oh man, we don't have to go back to that joke again.
Nah, we're good. Next.
That was funny. But anyways, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Once again, please go to riseofmiddleamerica.com. Go to the upper right-hand corner. That's where we got all our socials. Join our Discord. If you want to join the fun up here on stage, you want to do some stuff in the background, or if you just want to chat with us in the VCs, we're there pretty much all day, every day. So you got any stories you want to break to us, or anything going on across the country, across the world, jump in the Discord. That's the place where you can let us know. Yeah, we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks, so make sure you stay tuned. Again, we've got Sunset Rants Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Monday nights at 10:30. We have Facts and Sass Tuesday, same time. We've got the Drive-In, our new pop culture show. Wednesday, we've got our sports show, which we finally got in, Roma Sports. We had a lot of fun the last couple of weeks doing that, and it's gaining a lot of steam. And then, of course, we've got Vash coming in. I know I keep saying that every week, but I will make sure that he is in next week for his conspiracy show. And then, of course, on Fridays, we've got Bappo Friday at 8, Roma Nation at 10. We are growing, and we are growing strong, ladies and gentlemen. So, anyways, Taylor, you got anything else?
No, not too much, man. This is fun. I miss running this with you. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I miss D for sure, but I wasn't able to do it on Tuesday either. But being able to do this, it's nice, man. Miss
Absolutely
sticking it with you for sure. I'm glad everyone else were hopefully on top of it. We were able to entertain them, do everything. This is our Thursday show, so we won't be back till Tuesday. At least I won't. So I just want you guys to know, like I say this every time, first time here, I love you just as much as you're the 100th time. All the stuff that you were saying, share us, please. Helps us out the most, and we want to help you out.
Absolutely.
Stay safe.
Yeah, and join us. Join us. It's $5 a month across all platforms. We're not going to go any higher. We're not going to go any lower. That's just boom. That's the price. Help us become the largest podcast network on the internet to promote this post-cancel culture society. So, without further ado, Brian, hit the closeout. I'll see you guys for Roma Nation tomorrow. Peace.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.